Welcome back to Touchdown Kingdom, the hub of all the latest NFL news and content. In this video, I'll be breaking down the top 10 NFL teams heading into the 2020 season. This season is going to be a very interesting year since there are so many great teams heading into 2020. With that being said, let's jump right into the list. Coming in at number 10, the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys missed the playoffs last year and finished with an 8-8 record. With the new hiring of head coach Mike McCarthy, expect this Cowboys team to have a whole new style to them in 2020. With the draft pick of wide receiver CeeDee Lamb, the Cowboys offense just got even more dynamic. The Cowboys do not seem to be sold on Dak Prescott as their franchise quarterback of the future, so they did not sign him to an extension. They want to see him prove himself again this season in order to be worth a mega deal. The Cowboys are great on paper on offense. Their defense has recently emerged as a top 10 defense according to their 2019 statistics. They are ranked 8th in total yards allowed per game last season. If their defense can take a step towards being elite, then this team has a ton of potential this year. But the big story of this year will be how quarterback Dak Prescott performs in his final year under contract and his first year under new head coach Mike McCarthy. Number 9, the Tennesse Titans. The Titans had the most surprising year, going all the way to the AFC Championship in 2019. They started the season off slow with Marcus Mariota behind center. They then switched to their backup quarterback Ryan Tannehill, who surprisingly helped lead them to the playoffs. Derrick Henry developed into an absolute dominant running back, which led to the Titans' offense to become very intimidating. The Titans became a ground-and-pound team, and Tannehill did not have to rely on his arm as much as they just had the scorching hot Derrick Henry to feed the ball. They finished the year with a 9-7 record and made the wild card. In the playoffs, Derrick Henry was unstoppable. They shocked the world by defeating the New England Patriots, with Henry rushing for 182 yards and a touchdown. The Titans then went on and defeated the best team in the NFL, the Baltimore Ravens. Henry again had an outstanding performance with 195 rushing yards and even a passing touchdown from Henry. The Titans locked up Tannehill and Henry for the long term, as head coach Mike Vrabel is ready to turn this organization into a consistent, dominant team. Number 8, the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings finished the 2019 season with a 10-6 record and finished second in the NFC North behind the Green Bay Packers. The Vikings started off the season hot in the first half of the year with a 6-2 record. In Kirk Cousins' second year as the Vikings quarterback, he came away with 26 touchdowns to just 6 interceptions. Dalvin Cook solidified himself as one of the top running backs in the entire NFL by rushing for 1,135 rushing yards and 13 touchdowns in 14 games. The Vikings have an overall good team on all sides of the ball. Their defense always kept them in games and gave up an average of 19 points per game, as their offense would put up an average of 25 points per game. The Vikings then went on to defeat the Saints in the NFC wildcard game, but they lost to the 49ers in the NFC divisional game. If Kirk Cousins can perform the way he does in the regular season and the postseason, don't be surprised if the Vikings made a deep playoff push this season. Number 7, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Buccaneers have two new superstars many are familiar with, Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski. It was a shock to the entire NFL world when Tom Brady left the Patriots to join the Buccaneers. It was also a shock when Rob Gronkowski decided to come out of retirement to join his old friend in Tom Brady. Last season with Jameis Winston, they were one of the best passing attacks in the entire NFL with two-star wide receivers Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Now, add the greatest quarterback in the history of the game and arguably the most dominant tight end ever to this offense, and we are all in store for a great show every Sunday. The Bucs defense was also performed at a high level under defensive coordinator Todd Bowles. Shaquille Barrett put up the most sacks in the entire NFL with 19.5 sacks. The Bucs are going to be a fun team to watch this season and have a chance to make a deep playoff push if future Hall of Fame quarterback Tom Brady still has some magic left in the tank at 42 years old. Number 6, the Green Bay Packers. The Packers had a great season last year and finished with a 13-3 record and went on to win the NFC North. This was the year the Packers defense finally developed into a top 10 defense in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers has been consistently putting up great numbers for the Packers every season, but their defense was the reason why they were never able to win enough games. Now that they have a good defense matched up with the future Hall of Fame quarterback in Aaron Rodgers, the Packers are a team to watch out for in 2020. Rookie head coach Matt LaFleur seemed to be really comfortable with this Packers team already. The one head-scratching offseason move by the Packers was the draft pick of quarterback Jordan Love in the first round. The Packers have Rodgers locked up for another 3 seasons, but decided to draft his replacement in the long term rather than drafting a playmaker for their quarterback Aaron Rodgers. Number 5, the New Orleans Saints. The Saints have lost deep in the playoffs the past 2 seasons. But with Drew Brees under center, you have to have the Saints top 5 in this list. Michael Thomas is coming off an excellent season as well, so expect the Brees and Thomas duo to be lighting up the league in 2020. The Saints have always been consistently a contender under head coach Sean Payton, but they have had no luck in the playoffs, whether it was a terrible no call against the Los Angeles Rams or the Minneapolis Miracle against the Minnesota Vikings. The Saints always find a way to blow their season in the playoffs. With Demario Davis solidifying himself as a top middle linebacker in the NFL and Marshawn Lattimore as one of the top lockdown cornerbacks in the NFL, expect the Saints to be on both sides of the ball competing at a high level in 2020. Number 4, the Seattle Seahawks. The Seahawks have been looking to find their identity ever since the Legion of Boom left their defense. But with the addition of All-Pro safety Jamal Adams, expect this defense to take a huge leap in 2020. Russell Wilson has been excellent at the quarterback position and is a huge reason why the Seahawks have been so successful this decade. With the draft pick of DK Metcalf in the 2019 draft, expect this offense to take the next step in 2020. Russell Wilson is arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the entire NFL. I believe we haven't even seen Wilson's peak of his career yet, and that is why I have them ranked so high in this list. Pete Carroll has always had a great connection with Wilson. If their defense can go back to the way it was when they were in the Super Bowl, this Seahawks team can become a powerhouse in the NFC. Number 3, the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens finished with the best record in the entire NFL in 2019, 14-2. Lamar Jackson turned into a young superstar in his second season in the NFL and won MVP. John Harbaugh and the entire Ravens organization just understand how to run this team the right way. They have a great defense and they just adjusted to Jackson's playstyle at quarterback to perfection. Lamar Jackson has emerged as the best dual-threat quarterback in the NFL with his blazing speed. But do not sleep on Lamar's arm when he has a clean pocket. The Baltimore Ravens are an extremely well-coached team and don't have many weaknesses on their roster. Expect the Ravens to have another dominant season in 2020. Number 2, the San Francisco 49ers. The reigning NFC champions are going to be hungry in 2020. They were one of the best defensive teams in the entire league last season. Their defensive line is stacked like no other team. Their run stoppage and pass rush is what kept them in games all throughout the season. But Kyle Shanahan's offense is another reason why this team was so great. Shanahan has one of the best offensive minds in the entire league and it shows. With quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo, star tight end George Kittle, and newly acquired wide receiver Brandon Ayuk in the NFL draft, expect this offense to take an even bigger step in 2020. You know the entire 49ers team is still upset by giving up a lead in the Super Bowl and are going to come out hungry this season. And coming in at number 1 on this list, the Kansas City Chiefs. The reigning Super Bowl champions are number 1 on this list for various reasons. They have the best quarterback in all of football and he is only 24 years old. Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes are building the new dynasty in the AFC. This head coach and quarterback duo is undoubtedly the best one in the entire league. We all know how dynamic the offense will be for the Chiefs, but the real question is going to be their defense. If they can get a solid defensive season in 2020, I expect this Chiefs team to be right back in the Super Bowl this year. The Chiefs are one of the most entertaining teams to watch because of how creative the play calling is and because of how ridiculously talented Patrick Mahomes is. Do you expect the Chiefs to be back in the Super Bowl this year? Because I certainly do. That is my top 10 teams heading into the 2020 NFL season. Please comment your top 10 list. I would love to hear your opinions. And subscribe for more NFL content and leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Have a great day.